of us at the same. Yeah, no. They need to just hit speaker.
If you want to come on and give them all
Okay, I can tell
if,
them. Okay,
yeah, if one of you just come on and give the housekeeping,
I'll do that. Okay, okay.
you know.
Yeah, because otherwise it's a little distracting. I mean, are you all seeing the same thing when you go to view and you hit speaker? You can still see everybody at the top, but you have to click an arrow, right? You don't see everybody. Wool is still bigger, correct?
We're in gallery because he's not sharing a screen right now. When he shares the screen,
Being recorded.
it'll
Yeah, but
change.
even when he's talking, I think he should be bigger. Although I guess when you talk, you become bigger.
Yeah, like I see everyone in the
You see,
uh
when I see gallery, when Wool's talking, we're all still the same size. But if you put it in view speaker,
if
you
you
still
put
see all of
speaker,
us, but you're bigger.
yeah, so if you put speaker, the person speaking is the one that
Yeah, I'm just going to
can you
suggest
see
that.
me as the big one now if you're in speaker?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
It jumps around when it's like
Yeah,
that.
it jumps around and that's okay. You know.
Good.
Did you see the picture of my dog? My dog was like, what the is going on? Like, like you force me into bed at 3:30
Mhm.
p.m. and when I don't want to go to sleep. And then I woke up at, I don't know, maybe 10:45. And I was like, and he was like, one eye, like, huh? And I turned all the lights on, and he's so cute. He gives me these sort of puppy eyes, like, I don't know what's going on, but I want no part in this.
Does he sleep with a PJ
Yes, yeah, he's a whippet. Yeah, he's a whippet. So it started
on?
to, because
Okay.
we're heading into winter, so it's starting to
Okay.
get cool for him. So,
That's cute. Very cute.
so in today's one, Edith, if you just introduce me, okay?
Yep.
So yeah, that's
30 years with Biodroga.
yeah. So I'll tell a little bit of my story for the people that
Yep.
haven't been in the class before. Just my story with Biodroga, and then I'll lead into my salon, and then I'll lead into the success of the salon over the 30 years and why we attributed a lot of that to increasing retail sales.
Okay. Very good.
Do you think because it's Easter Monday, it will be a little bit quieter?
In the US, most companies are closed on Friday, but not Monday.
Right.
So I don't think so. We should be okay. It's still early.
Yeah, I mean Easter Monday, it was very quiet everywhere. I when I went outside, it was really very quiet. I find it very strange this 4 days off for Easter thing with businesses because we also have Anzac Day next week, which is another public holiday for the salons. So, April is just a really hard month.
So do you get Friday and Monday off usually in Australia?
Yeah, so for Easter we have Friday and Monday off.
Oh,
And
wow.
then, if businesses want to open yesterday on Sunday, on Sunday, then it's double time because it's Easter Sunday. So it's a very expensive, very, very expensive month because we also have Anzac Day, which is our day of remembrance for World War II and One, and that is Monday, next Monday. So
Mm,
we have another public holiday again.
mm,
And the salons are like, this is really hard. You've taken now 3 days out of the month.
Yeah.
yeah, it is hard.
We have
And
tax day, so people are waiting to either get money or
all right. When
so
is when is tax day?
my birthday, the
All right.
15th.
The 15th.
April
So it's
15th.
triply
Yes.
expensive here.
Yeah.
It's like, yay or
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but people are saying I'm gonna buy it after I do my taxes. Like, so let's see, let's bring it. April 15th.
No, are you hot? Not yet.
I still think picking up.
Oh, yeah, nice guy.
And there's more. There's a whole bottle in there.
And we will ask everybody to mute.
I don't think you see her on
And
there.
I've got
Okay.
yes, I've got it in my car. So she was already actually.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Nicole and Edith, let's just have fun. Okay, let's just talk how we would normally talk as trainers. I mean, Nicole, you do podcasts, you know what it is, conversation. And the little things that end up being the most interesting are just the thoughts of questions and thinking, oh, yeah.
I love this idea. Well, I had no idea this is until this morning when you you mentioned in the message podcast. I'm like, what's he talking about? This is a podcast. It was your PowerPoint. And when you mentioned that today, I love this. It's gonna be really great.
Peter and I, a lot of the times our trainings will be her and I discussing.
Uh-huh.
And I've spoken to the salons and they love those ones because they get the most information out of little things that Peter and I are able to talk about. And, we're the distributors, we're trainers, we own a salon, but a lot of the little salon, little sort of
Do you mind
hint.
microphone?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
Madonna.
look at you.
Go, Madonna.
It's actually my comedy, but I do use it for the podcast.
Very nice. I need
But
one
we-
of those.
We have a nice little group waiting. 14.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be as many people as last time.
Yeah.
You
it's-
don't know.
Oh, yesterday on Easter Monday, I didn't even think about it, but my class was very small. But I do know that they go and they watch it after. So I don't really now the most important thing is content, and people will watch it when they want to watch it. My business coach offers weekly trainings, and I never watch any of them live. I don't. I watch them when I want to, like, when I'm at work at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll watch one, I'll put one in the background. So the days of people having to be on these things live, it's over now. Most people do catch up.
Right, and a lot of them just said, "There's no way, but please send it to me."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get discouraged by that because it's actually it's not
They
drug.
listen to
This
it
is
in the
Vicks
car.
vapor rub. So
They
2
listen to it in the
minutes.
cars.
I love
What
it.
did you say, Karen?
We got these
Huh?
in, we got these in Thailand.
yes, Ashley.
They're like little Vicks inhalers, like little menthol and herbs, like Thai herbs. They're fabulous.
Mm.
I have one I love. It's even in my makeup bag from, I think it's the Swiss, the Elbus.
Yeah.
German, maybe.
Yeah, German made. Yeah.
Yeah, we have them in France too.
Yeah, I love them. I love them.
Nicole, your makeup looks beautiful. I forgot to put on makeup this morning. All right. One more.
Okay.
All right.
Have fun, team.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know if you all know, but it's 2 a.m. in Australia.
It's just on 2 a.m.
Oh, he let us know. We know.
Did you sleep a
1
little bit,
o'clock
Will?
an hour ago.
I actually didn't really sleep. I sort of laid there and I rested and I just sort of went in and out because for this one I was really worried I was going to sleep through. And I have this terrible nightmare that I wake up and Karen's like, "Where are you? Boom, 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 boom. Where are you?
Oh
Where
my
are you?"
God.
on my WhatsApp. So there was half of me thinking, "Oh no," but because I'm
Oh, and I think a bunch of people have already joined.
Yeah, it looks
Oh.
like it. Hello, everyone. Hello. So this is Monday morning, and we are here for a very special webinar. It's actually a podcast. So we're going to have conversation. We're going to talk between Will Fennell and Nicole. So we are waiting for everybody to come in. We'll wait a couple minutes before we'll start. So how was your Sunday, Will?
It was wonderful. We have a little bit of I love Ferrero Rocher. I love Ferrero Rocher. And my lovely husband found Ferrero Rocher Easter eggs.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yum, 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 yum.
I tell you, my inability to share shone through because I was like a little squirrel stashing it here, like not willing to share with anyone. So I had Ferrero Rocher chocolates for Easter. It was delicious.
Very, very nice. What about you, Nicole? What did you do?
I went to a silent disco. I don't know. Some of you guys saw it was my birthday gift too. So that was really, you see on the post, it was interesting for the 80s lovers, 90s lovers. You're wearing headphones and it's a really cool idea. And you know what? If you love 80s music, I'm going to tell you what, 3 hours straight dance is exhausting.
Yeah,
Ooh,
fantastic.
yes, definitely.
These silent discos are actually starting to be very popular now. Very
Yeah.
popular.
It was an event. You had to book because I thought, oh, who's going to be there at 2 o'clock? It's my kind of party, 2 to 5, but it's an event. Travel, so look out for it in your area. It was really interesting.
Fun,
That's
fun,
my
fun,
kind of
fun.
party too.
Very
Hi,
good.
ladies.
Hello.
Hello, Patton.
Hello, hello.
Skin with
For
it.
everybody that's joining, I just want to let you all know that Will woke up at 2 a.m. this morning. It is 2 a.m. in Australia. No, he
he's-
woke up probably
okay.
at 12,
Yeah.
Yes.
1 a.m. for 2 a.m. this morning. So we thank him
But
very much.
can I tell you, doing Biodroga training is so exciting for me. So I'm a nerd. So waking up for these things, I don't, we travel as Biodroga trainers, we travel around the world for this, different time zones and I always hop off the plane and you're sort of so excited. It's not until the end when you have to go home that it's a problem.
Yeah. And you have to go to work, actually. You go home, but you go to work.
You go to work.
Mhm. You'll sleep better tonight, I'm pretty sure.
I will. Well, the secret now is to stay awake today. So
A
Yeah.
lot of coffee.
yeah.
Hello, Edith. Hello, Will. Hello,
Hello.
Karen.
Nancy, how are you
Hi.
doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good, good, good. So people are still coming in.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
well,
I think
yeah,
it's
well-
going to be a successful
Yeah.
podcast. Nice.
I
Wait, you're muted. Somebody muted everybody. We're all muted. Will.
there we are. Is that I was talking to lots of my colleagues around the world about, how the relaunch is coming through now. And, we're coming to the end of the relaunch now and how, the tide has begun to change as people are getting used to new textures, new fragrances in product. And it's so wonderful because I was always really positive about True Beauty. I really stayed focused, on point with it. And now the fruits of our labor are starting to show. The customers are loving it, especially lines like Repair and Protect. Like Repair and Protect sales have gone through the roof for us. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hi,
great for
Will.
us too. Yeah, Repair and Protect is doing really well with us too.
Hi, Will. It's Jocelyn. I just
Hey.
wanted to say hello.
Good morning.
Haven't seen you for ages, and thank you so much. We're all excited.
My pleasure.
Edith, Nicole, we can't wait for this.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone who's joining us. And I'll talk to you at the end, I guess.
Your hair looks lovely, Jocelyn. You look lovely today.
Oh, it does? Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
A week, 10 days of bronchitis and 2 antibiotics.
Yeah,
Obviously does me good.
you're shining. It was lovely to see you.
But I must agree, I love that Repair and Protect. Love it, love it, love it. So
They really took an icon and they've taken it back to what it really was. They went into the idea of stem cells and things with the line, and now they've really taken repair back to what we remember repair was when I was at college, basing really on the bifidobferment lysate, on
Yeah.
ceramides. And I'm like, wow, we finally have it back. And the clients, they notice. They really
Yeah, because
do.
repair and sell, I don't think sold nearly as well. I mean, not
No.
at
Not at
all.
all.
No.
They, as a company, I think they tried to move repair and sell into the future, and they added the Alpine Rose stem cell extracts, and they went in a different direction about what repair really was. And repair was about the skin biotics, and it lost that focus. It,
Yeah.
and now they did a U-turn back to the core of what repair was all about. And it says repair. What does repair mean? Repair the barrier, repair the skin. And this is what ceramides and skin biotics do. It's in the name. And the textures, the repair, the new repair day is just beautiful. It's that perfect balance of not too rich, not too light. It's just perfection.
Great. That's wonderful. We love it too. It's very successful here.
And we
All
just
right,
learned
so
organic
Pardon?
here.
what did you say,
We
Nicole?
have organic in the States now too. So I'm so excited.
Don't even get me started on that one. We're not talking about that today.
My
But
package is coming today, so disappear.
All
I'm
right,
gonna go.
guys, I think it's time we can
Yep.
start because it's
Yeah.
11:07. So
yes, let's start.
Very good. So thank you for everybody to get on today. Welcome to our Biodroga family. I want to welcome Will Fennell for being here from Australia. Big applause. Yes,
Thank you for having me
Will.
again.
And also Nicole, who is the trainer for the West Coast. So, Will, tell us a little bit about you. I just want to tell everyone that Will is a salon's owner. He has been with Biodroga for over 30 years. 30 years is the distributors of Biodroga in Australia. So, like Karen said earlier, he has been up for since what? Midnight,
7:30
which was
last
2
night.
hours ago. So welcome, Will, and welcome, Nicole.
okay, one other thing, I'm sorry, just before we get started, for y'all, if you could go to your view at the top of the Zoom thing and press speaker, it will be a lot easier for you to see Will or Edith or Nicole, whoever's speaking, instead of seeing everybody at the same size. So just go up to the view and hit the speaker option. Thanks.
Okay. So thank you so much for having me. I often get asked, where did my journey with skincare begin and where did my journey with Biodroga begin? I think my journey with skincare began with my very first pimple, and which turned into what is really was the most horrendous acne. And, at that age, I don't know if you have a brand in the US called Clearasil. Do you have Clearasil? Anyway, it's a pharmacy brand. And, the first things, mothers do is they go into the pharmacy and they pick up every drying sort of aggressive skincare product they can. And during my teens, I just, it really did affect me. I tried absolutely everything. And I started, I went into a beauty salon as a gift. I got a gift voucher from one of the girls at school. And I went to the beauty salon. She gave me a treatment. She said, I really want to help you. But my family were really poor. We couldn't afford those treatments. And she could see that I really needed help. She said, why don't you come in and help me on a Saturday? And I will pay you in a facial each week. Oh my gosh, I was like 14. I was like, oh wow, this is fantastic. So I didn't tell my parents that this is what I wanted to do, but I really wanted to become a skin therapist at 14 or 15. And it was something that stayed with me. When I left school, I went to nursing school first, but then I really wanted to become a beauty therapist. But my skin was still really bad. And at the college, they were a school with Biodroga. Now, way back then, Walter Friedman, who was still he created the company. He's our grandfather at Biodroga, is he really had a really different way of treating skin than what was happening at the time. And that was working with the skin and not against it. And this was none more sort of obvious than in his line called Skin Puran, which we now know as Clear Skin. And one product in it very specifically was the cleansing fluid. Now, if you look at our current cleansing fluid, it has had some updates, but the core of it was what he had back then, which is mind-blowing, which is absolutely mind-blowing to think that, we think we've come so far and we had to change, when really the core of working with the skin is something we still have sort of grabbed on to hold on to now. And that is working with the skin barrier. If you can keep beautiful, good bacteria high, P. acne has no chance. And so Biodroga changed my skin. And it began a love affair. It began a love affair for what is now 31 years. My husband often says to me, he's third. There's, the dog Biodroga in him. But, I don't like to play favorites, but Biodroga is my number one. But and he uses all Biodroga now, so he can't talk. I think that he'd throw me over the side for his high performance cream as well. So I'm saying. But
Nice.
then I introduced Biodroga into my first salon, and it really has been the cornerstone of my career. So now I work for Germany, for Biodroga in Germany, as one of their international trainers, and sharing my passion for skincare is something that makes me get up in the mornings. It's what I absolutely love. But one of the wonderful things that I've been able to bring was being a salon owner, because I see it from the salon side. I'm the distributor, but I'm also a trainer. So I get to see it from, each pillar, which makes it very easy to be able to help people. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. We are so, so, so happy. Nicole, tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you. Well, I grew up here in California. My family had a salon. So I was like 8 years old. It just was in my, like my dad laughed when I kept trying to go back to college, which I'm doing now finally. But it was like, this was what I did. I was a makeup artist. I was in the cosmetics industry, and I had problem skin like Will. And I was a snob. I thought I was working with all the high end, the French lines. And fortunately, the first spa I worked at was a German woman, and she had Biodroga and never heard of it. So I always tell people, if you didn't hear of us, that's okay, because we don't spend it in all the marketing. It's in the quality, changed my skin. And then I actually moved back to California. I was kind of done. I've been doing this most of my life, and I came back for the entertainment industry, and I met Sonia at Euro Pacific. And I just wanted to buy for myself. And when she knew who I was and what I was doing, I was moving back to LA, she goes, I need somebody. And like Will says, I still always say I fell in love. And I've actually fallen back in love with this industry because of the changes and everything that we are doing with the clean beauty, because I'm a nutrition coach too. So I've always preached about microbiomes and the health of the skin. I never got into some of that stuff that they're doing and treating face like an old piece of furniture. I'm like, health, build it. So I'm a forever customer. And I love Biodroga. And Will has been the best trainer I've ever worked with. Because I tell everybody who's here, like, we know things. I have, 30 years experience, but he's in there. He's in the labs. He can answer questions that I'm not there. Like, why didn't they recreate this? And why didn't they bring this back? So it's very important to join these classes. And I'm just so happy to be here with you all and part of the family.
Thank you, Nicole.
For
Thank you
people,
so much.
for Beard Biocosmetic of Texas customers, they might not know who Nicole and Sonia are, but they are our
West Coast.
partner distributors from Europe Pacific. So that is why they're on the call, and we love being partners with them. So Sonia is the owner, and Nicole is the trainer, and Monique, who is also on there somewhere, is office manager, everything else.
That you speak
You're
to
welcome.
on the phones. Most people know Sonia, and then they talk to Monique. So
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
us, we're here.
And for our
Very nice.
customers, Nicole, you could introduce them too, so that they know who they are for us. That Karen and Jocelyn are the owners of
Oh.
Biocosmetics. Yeah, in Texas. So they're our partners that we get along really well with, and Edith is their trainer.
Oh, don't worry. I had to do a family tree of all of you. I had to do it was like Game of Thrones, working out, all the families and all. But
Oh, I know, because it's confusing for some people, or especially like when they come to the shows, they're like, we don't understand, or so yeah.
No.
Yeah, they
when
look
we go to
here today.
Dallas, they ask, where is Sonia? And when people go to
Yeah.
Vegas, they're like,
Where's Jocelyn?
So
Yeah.
people are confused a little bit. But now we are all together on this podcast. So it's wonderful. Very, very excited. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right, Will, do you think we should start?
yes.
No, Edith,
Yes.
please give them a bit of your background because, sorry, Will, to interrupt,
No,
but
not at all.
Edith is the most phenomenal trainer, workhorse, everything and we are so lucky to have her. And please, Edith,
you.
just give them some of your background because you are an amazing person.
Oh, thank you so much, Jocelyn. Well, I've been an esthetician for almost 30 years. I was also a massage therapist. I worked for myself when I was back in Los Angeles for 20 years. And I was also a trainer for a French skincare company as well. I moved to Texas, and believe me, coming from France, I had no idea I was going to end up in Texas. And I married a guy from Texas with the hat, the boots and everything. And so I've been with Biocosmetic of Texas for 13 years. I kind of forget sometime. I add years or I subtract years. We never know with me. And I love Biodroga. I love those products from Germany. Being French, European products are absolutely fantastic. And I fell in love again with Biodroga 2 years ago when they changed the line to a better line, a clean line. And, every day when you use the products, you are amazed of the result of those products. And I'm so lucky to be part of Biodroga, to be part of this community because we are really, when we have a question, we ask Will, and I discovered Will a couple years ago, and I'm so, so thankful that now is my trainer, my personal trainer, actually.
And I have been, sorry.
Yeah, so I knew a few things about Biodroga, but since I'm listening to Will, I'm like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, and it's absolutely fantastic because it's changing the way we do our trainings. It's changing the way we use the products as well. So we are very excited. I am very excited to be part of this and to be part of Biocosmetic of Texas.
Thank
I
you.
want to
Thank you,
introduce
Jocelyn.
one more time. I'm so sorry. I'm Karen with Biocosmetic of Texas, but I just want to say, because I know most of the people on this line do use Biodroga, but we do have some others that use Dr. Grandel or Alex. This Zoom podcast is for everybody. Okay, so it's not brand specific. Anything that is brand specific, if you use the other line, get hold of us. I will tell you exactly what the equivalent for Dr. Grandel or Alex is if you are not a Biodroga user yet. All right.
Just one thing
So,
on that.
mhm.
I teach ingredients in all of my classes because, a large percentage of the salons I work with don't just keep Biodroga. So we work with ingredients, and these ingredients can be found in lots of skincare products that we work with. So in my trainings, I always focus on the ingredients at the top. You'll see the ingredients are always the focus. Underneath, I will go into what products within Biodroga you can find that. Again, I don't really care about names. You just got to know what the ingredient is and where to find it and how to use it. And then that can work with any skincare line. Okay. Now,
Okay.
And while you're pulling up the PowerPoint, the beautiful thing is Cosmetic and Euro-Pacific carry these, so you can actually order what you see today with your other brand too. That's what I get is people go, I want to order that too, even if they're with the other lines. So it's not minimum order or anything. So
yeah, there used to be a little bit of, I used to go to product company launch and they'd be like, okay, so you need to work with our product line only because our product line understands the others. And I'd be like, this does not make sense to me. Skins understand ingredients and how they're used. That's all. Okay. So you could get into a situation where if you're using an acid in one line, you might not want to use a deep gel cleanser in another, but that's again ingredients. That's not the product name or the product company. So skincare has no allegiance to any product line. I mean, skin has no allegiance to any product line. Okay, so today we're going to really focus on ingredients.
And I'm going to say one more thing. I'm so sorry. If you all want to make either the PowerPoint, which we're not going to have a lot of PowerPoint, but if you want to make the PowerPoint bigger or the speaker bigger, because you like looking at the speaker as they talk, there is a little line in between the PowerPoint and the speaker, and you can just drag it and make whichever one bigger that you like. All right? All right. Sorry.
Okay, take us away,
Perfect.
Edith.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to focus on sales today. So how to increase your sales with only one product you're going to recommend per customers, okay? So each time you're going to see a customer, you're going to be able to recommend the right product. So let's do some math this morning and see how we can do that. So first, I'm going to do some math on just doing treatments. Some of you estheticians, might not be so good at recommending products. So I wanted to show you the difference on just doing treatments. And later on, I'm going to talk about the difference with recommending products. So let's start with just plain treatments. So I had to, contact a bunch of estheticians to do an average price and average numbers of facials that the esthetician are doing per day. So first, the price of a European facial, it's an hour basic facial. The average is around 150. Okay, and we're not selling any products for this example right now. So let's see how much money are we going to make per day. So we said 5 treatments per day. So $150 times 5, it's $750. And now we're going to see how much more money we're going to make per week. So we take $750 times 5. Per week, we're going to make $3,750. Okay, and now we're going to work a whole month. So 4 weeks out of the month, we're going to take that $3,750 times 4 weeks. We are going to make $15,000 per month. Okay, by just doing basic facials. I know that all of you are doing other treatments, and I'm not including those treatment in our example. So now let's do more than our regular job of doing treatment. Now we're going to do treatments and we're going to recommend one product per customer. Okay. And you're going to see that sometime one product is okay, but sometimes it's not, depending on the skin condition, okay, the skin concern. Your customer might need the whole package with cleanser, toners, serums and everything. But here we are just going to focus on recommending only one product per customer, okay? So I took an average price of a product and I'm using for my math only the profit. So the treatment is $150 again, okay? And I'm adding $35 as an average profit, all right? Which is really, not that much. It means that the products you are actually recommending to your customer is $70 for them, okay? So 150 plus 35 profit is 185. So let's see how much money we're going to make per day. So 5 treatments a day and 5 products is going to be 185 times 5, which is equal to 925. Okay, so let's see how much money we're going to make a week. It's going to be 925 times 5 days a week. We're going to make 4,625. And let's do the math for the month. So per month, we're going to do 4,625 times 4 weeks for the month. And now we're going to make 18,500. What is the difference between recommending products for each customer for a whole month versus just doing our basic facials? So we're going to take that number, 18,500 minus $15,000. So what is the difference? It's going to be 3,500 profit just on products, just on the profit of the recommendation of one product per customer. It's amazing. What can you do with $3,500 profit? Will, Nicole, what can you do with that? An extra, over $3,000 a month.
I know people that want another $3,500 a month, but I said personally, I would like them to invest and expand their retail. And Will, tell us about why we need Biodroga Medical complete line eventually.
Yeah, so I often say with the entire lines, now we're very lucky to have organic and bioscience and medical. And with the bioscience and organic, yeah, you can pick and choose what you really want for your salon. But for medical, that's not the case. And I look at it like an artist painting a picture. And you're painting the picture and you look down and you don't have blue. Oh, and I don't have green.
Oops.
So you can't paint the picture. You can't create what you want. You cannot give solutions to your clients if you don't have the solutions. So I think with Medical Institute, it's really important to keep at least 1 to 2, I like to say 2 minimum, of everything in medical. The cleansers, the lotions, the serums, the moisturizing solutions, and the mask and the sunscreen. It's really important. It's not a huge line. It's not a huge line. What is really important is all of the booster serums. Yeah. Because if you don't have the booster serums, you cannot provide those solutions to your customers. And guess where they're going to go if you can't provide the solutions? To somewhere else.
Word.
Okay, to Sephora or on
Amazon, yeah. Sephora.
They're going to find it elsewhere. Those ones are really, really important for you to have. So investing in your stock on hand is an investment in your business. It's an investment. And stock on a shelf it's an asset. It's not a cost. This is an asset. You buy it for 10, you sell it for 20, you've made $10. This is an asset. We often look at stock and think, oh, it's dead money. Well, it's not dead money if you're turning it over. It's only dead money if you're not turning it over. If it's just sitting there and 12 months later, you've still got a moisturizer there you haven't sold, it's dead money. But turning over stock is an asset. It's an investment. It's making you money.
And I just want to interject very quickly because we do have some single estheticians who might get overwhelmed with us saying this. And although what Will is saying is 100% true, remember that both Eurospecific and us have drop ships. So if you happen to have two of the products but not one, or you don't have any, your customer can get it the next day. Because we can, we will send it to them. We do charge $17 shipping, so it's better if you have it on your shelf, but it's not like you cannot do it if you have it on your shelf. You just really need to know what are the necessary products that you need for that condition, skin condition.
So I went to IKEA the other day, and I breed fish, so I'm fish crazy. And I went to IKEA to buy this stand, and they said to me, "Oh, I don't have any. We don't have that in stock." I was so angry. I was like, "I've seen the marketing. You've tried to sell me this, and you don't even have it." So there is nothing more frustrating for a customer than you saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I recommended that azelaic acid today. I don't actually have any." It doesn't look good. But be able to say, "Look, we can actually get that to you in the next couple of days." Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
I
delivered to your house.
Absolutely. I always think if you can provide solutions to problems, people love that even more. It's like going above and beyond.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of clients, actually, it's the only time I hear from them, but it's beautiful because they call me or message me, when is this going to be in stock? They want something. I pick up the phone, and you know what? Turns out we got a shipment that day. So they're unpacking, and then they still get it in their orders. So I do love always contact us too, because we're always getting boxes, every day. And so definitely ask first too.
So let's look and see how much this was over the year.
$42,000. Oh my God, it's a lot of products you're going to recommend to your customers. So that money goes into your pocket, and you can definitely, invest that money in new products.
Or first class ticket to Baden-Baden. Let me just.
Yes. Yeah. And that is for only one product. That is only one product per client.
Per customer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my salons, we focus on one product per client. That's what we focus on. If there's more than one, because there needs to be that in a solution package, then that's fine. But we focus on one product, and one product is really doable.
I want to say thank you for this, because I'm going to use this because I actually, when I speak to a lot of new estheticians, I put it in their mind because the beautiful thing is we're recommending a higher quality product we're switching to something that's more effective and changes our skin. That's why we're excited about it. But I always go, do you want to make your, whatever they're making off their facial, you can make $75 an hour or $100 an hour. And then if you sold 3 products, because I always think in that way, I want some of the basics, they've doubled their output.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
That's a wonderful way to look at it. But just so simply, one product per treatment. Boom, you've got this much per year. So I'm going to use this.
Yeah.
Just from my experience, when we first opened, we were a big waxing salon, and a lot of salons start that way. We were waxing and manis and pedicures and massage and so forth. And we didn't really sell a lot of product. And even though we had Biodroga and I loved it, we didn't sell a lot. And then when we began to refocus on being a skin-focused clinic, and we started to retail product, you could see the growth in retail. And that came from my business coach. My business coach, she was like, "What are you doing? You're drinking the milk and not the cream. Where's the cream? Where is the cream at the top of this?" So it was important, I think, for me to understand the money side of it. And I thank you, Edith, for showing us that.
Oh, you're very welcome. I use it, Nicole, also when I go to schools and I talk to students, and they are amazed, how much money they can make without working so hard. So it's a wonderful slide to have to show estheticians and students as well. So definitely, yeah.
You have to be retailing, otherwise you're hands on 20, for all your work hours. And I've always said this, and I've always taught this because I've always been proud of the brand that I use and only used what I love. But when we had COVID, the people that weren't suffering as much were the ones that were still retailing. So, I mean, it pays off in many ways.
So Edith has told us all that, and this sounds great, but how? How do we do this? It's great to think about this, but how? And so I've created a little flow chart, and we will provide all of this information in a cheat sheet PDF for you after the training. Okay, so let's talk about the how with this. Now, so each time a customer comes in, we really need to start from the beginning. Now, I do know, I've worked in a clinic, obviously, so I do know how easy it is to think, oh, well, you know what, I know Susie, so, just take her into the room. Oh my gosh, and this happens so much. I'd see it with my therapist and I would do it myself, naughty boy. And because it's just too easy to think whatever. And then at the end, wonder why Susie's not coming on board with the suggestions you've made. So I look at it this way in this, I'm just going to move this so I can see everything. Okay. So when the client, this is a very easy flow chart to look at. The start, and there's a question we always have to ask our clients is, and we're going to go through some key questions in the next slide. So we'll just follow the flow chart first. Are you happy with your skin? This is the most important question we can ask our customers. Are you happy with your skin? If you do not ask this, then you cannot start on the journey. Now, I like to talk about, you call it a GPS in the States, is if you do not put the information into the GPS at the beginning, and I'm a terrible, terrible passenger. So, we do use the GPS because my husband cannot rely on me to get us to where we're supposed to be. So instead of, stopping fights, we always put the information into the GPS, and that is where we want to go. So you need to put this information into the GPS, and this is all part of the time that you have with your customer from the beginning right to the end. The question is, are you happy with your skin? If the customer says to you, yes, I'm happy, thank you, then you would ask them, then why are you here? Okay, so the customer will say, purely, I just want to feel wonderful. I'm just so stressed at work. I just want to feel your magic hands. And do you know what? That's okay. We have become a little bit like, oh, well, relaxation. No, I'm telling you now, a lot of the customers will want to come just to feel good. And guess what? We are a feel good industry. We are not just skin, condition oriented. I don't like that. We need to go back also to the wellness side. And it might be the customer just needs it on that day. They just need to feel good that day. Fighting with the husband, daughter doesn't want to go to university. Oh my gosh, I just want the magic hands. And then you would go beauty treatment or wellness treatment. But with this particular client, it doesn't mean you can't look at their skin and think to yourself in your mind, okay, looks like Susie has some pigment on the side of her face. So what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to give Susie some samples of the vitamin C serum and talk to her about, I just noticed this on your side of your face. You're not telling her to buy it. You're not telling her, all you're doing is saying, I saw this. Can I do this to you? And Susie will say, wow, I love it. And you would give her professional home care advice. Wonderful. That's the journey that she's gone on that journey. So what if the client says, no? Are you happy with your skin? No.
So what do you do then?
Pardon? So the next...
What do you do?
It's really important then to ask more questions. Questions. The next question would be, do you want to change your skin? So you're not happy with it. Do you want to change it? Now we'll just go off on one particular client. The client has said they're not happy with their skin. Do you want to change it? No. We all know this customer. No.
Yes.
I don't want to change it. Are you happy? No, but I don't want to change it. Okay. Then this particular client, when we talk about conflict resolution, this particular client has decided there is nothing you're going to do. And then we would just go up, beauty treatment, no problem. But we would just start again next time. Okay. Do not push this client. This is not defeat. And a lot of junior therapists and senior therapists will see this as defeat. It's not. Because why? You've asked questions. You've asked the important questions. Are they happy with their skin? No. But do you want to change it? No. And guess what? That might just be today. I don't want to change it today. I'm not happy, but I don't want to change it today. And that's okay. It's not, it's not like it's the end of the world. We're not terrible therapists. The client has made the decision.
Yeah, and the client is not ready for it, maybe. So next time they come,
Absolutely.
you'll go over those questions again, right?
Yeah. And this is why when we're making targets for our staff, I think it's really important to train this, because a lot of staff members will feel bad because they're not hitting a particular target. But if they're asking these questions and they're not, then I'm okay with that. If they're going through all the steps and processes, and we're about to hit an election here, and I can tell you for the next 2 weeks, sales will be down because people like to hold their money when there's times of uncertainty. So you've got to take all these into account. If my therapists, my students go through this flow chart and it comes to a no, I'm okay. You've done your due diligence. But what if the client says yes? Now, this is the most important part. It's in the middle, it's in red. Can I talk to you today about ingredients that will help with your skin concern? Now, this is asking permission. This is permission-based. So this is about the client giving you the pathway to be able to just talk ingredients. Not sell her anything, not even suggest it here, just to talk about the ingredient and how it's going to help the skin concern that Susie has. And then you would use this to go into your diagnosis in the room. And guess what? If it's, say, acne, in that diagnosis, you're going to be talking about salicylic acid and niacinamide. And they're going to be your focus. You're going to be talking about these ingredients, not the product it's in, none of that. Don't want it, don't care. Could be in any of your brands, We're talking niacinamide, we're talking salicylic acid. And that's where you have to know your ingredients. Really important. I sometimes go into salons and when they talk about bunnies in headlights, and I say, Kylie, tell me about salicylic acid. If you don't know what salicylic acid does and where to find it and how to use it, then you cannot go on this journey. So the client says yes, and then we would go through ingredient suggestions and on to professional home care advice. But the most important tiny thing is, do you want to change your skin? And can I talk to you about these ingredients? If you do that at the beginning, if you do that right at the beginning, then at the end, it's so easy. It is so easy because they have given you permission to talk about it. They've told you they want to change their solution. At the end, if they say, no, not today, again, that's okay. And we would give samples. But I guarantee you, if we talk ingredients and we present the product as ingredients, we don't even say the price. Would you like to start using the tranexamic acid we talked about today? Not in this serum, not in this. Would you like to talk about the salicylic acid we talked about today? Not would you like to use it? They could say yes, but not today. Would you like to do it today? And then you get the client saying, okay, I said yes, we talked about these ingredients, and now I'm going to start using the ingredient. Any questions?
This is absolutely fantastic. It's going to help a lot of estheticians, definitely.
You're prescribing it like a professional, and that's what we do because where are people shopping these days? My biggest pet peeve, social media. They're buying because the marketing is so strong and they're telling them what's going to make their life and skin better.
Yeah.
We're the license, we're working with active ingredients. So the way that you described it, Will, I think is going to change a lot of people's.
I don't want to leap
I
too
just want
far.
to interject one thing. I'm so sorry. Just so because there's some people that probably have questions that are in our audience. At the end, you will be able to ask questions, okay? And also you can put it in the chat, and if it's something that I think should come up right away, I will say it for you. But otherwise, we will definitely have a time for you at the end to ask questions.
What I also talk about is I do not like at the end of the treatment therapists coming behind desks. So we now know with Apple, with Sephora, these companies, they are serving out on the floor. Okay, so we want to be doing this not behind a desk. We also don't necessarily want to do it at a wall full of products. I like to step a little bit away from the wall. So you're out from the wall, so in between the wall and the desk, in the open, so the client doesn't feel railroaded. You know, we're just talking about an ingredient away from that area, focusing in on the product inside. This is where the ingredients, this is where we're going to find the ingredients. And then we can talk about how to use it after. But I just don't, when you go behind that counter, you lose that connection. When you take someone to a wall of products, oh my gosh, it gives anxiety. They're like, okay, this is where it starts. They're going to get me to do one thing, and next thing you know, it's going to be the entire line. No, take all that away, step away. It's just you and them and the product that contains the ingredients that they're dying to start using.
And always remember, the goal is it's not about selling, it's about helping. So
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what we're doing. We are actually really caring. So it's not sale. We do it because we really believe and we know we're going to change their skin. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do we come up with the questions? So I've created 3 questions that I believe these key questions are the questions we give. So when our customers come in, we have a sheet. And we then get them to fill out this every single time as soon as they arrive. So they just sit down, we have a sheet. Now people say, well, do they want to do it every time? Yes, we need to do this every single time. The first one is, are you happy with your skin? So these questions actually take the place, you know, where we have the fundamental questions. I've got them here. This is how you ask them. This is how you ask them. Are you happy with your skin? If not, what aspects do you dislike about it? So the client is offering lots of information here. Are they happy with their skin? Okay, yes or no. So if the client says, no, I'm not happy with their skin, okay, they need to be able to provide you with the aspects they don't like about it. And that might be pigment, it might be acne, it might be saying, oh, my wrinkles and my lines. So you're getting them to tell you what they don't like and if they are happy. Really important. The second question, are you currently using any skincare ingredients, not product, ingredients, to address the concern about the aspects they don't like about it? See how it begins to connect? Okay, so they're currently using any skincare ingredients. So let's just say you're happy with your skin. No. What aspects do you dislike about it? Pigmentation. Okay. So are you currently using any skincare ingredients to address this concern? Vitamin C. Are the products containing these ingredients working? Not really.
It's why they come and see you most of the time.
Okay. Or they might say yes. Now this is a really interesting one because you'll come up against a little bit of a block here. But if they're saying they're not happy with their skin and they have aspects they don't dislike about it, but they still think the ingredients are working, there's a mind thing going on here. This is an instant block here saying, do not sell me anything. Okay, so this instantly gives you, okay, so this is what the client is thinking. It's all psychology. It really is. Okay, and this particular client, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. You're going to have to put on your esthetician hat and you're like, okay, all the things I've learned, we're going to work with this customer. But are the products containing these ingredients working? So if the customer says no, okay, if the customer says no, there are a lot of things that start to go in my mind here. Okay, they're currently using vitamin C, and I might ask questions. What's the concentration of the vitamin C? Oh, it's a 10%. Do you know if it's L-ascorbic acid or is it a palmitate of vitamin C? Oh, it's a palmitate. Okay. So these things I'm starting to ask questions about what the ingredients are. In this vitamin C serum, is there any other ingredients? No. Okay. So I know within myself, I'm not going to go in to focus on vitamin C. No, I'm going to focus on the tranexamic acid. That's the little ingredient doing bing, 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 bing here. Because if you start talking vitamin C, the customer's going to be like, oh, I already use it. And you might say 15% is better than 10%, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard it all before. We are going to focus on the tranexamic acid. And this is what I go into my diagnosis when I'm talking about. And I know what is the benefits of tranexamic acid. It is a powerful melanin inhibitor. It works even better. Don't say it's better. It works even better than vitamin C. And guess what? Vitamin C and tranexamic acid together, they are the dynamic duo. So don't diss the vitamin C that they've been using, but the fact we're going to use it together, that's like Batman and Robin. Okay, the two of them are going to work together and focus on what does tranexamic acid do? It really helps with deep pigment. It works with really deep, stubborn pigment. Wow. And this is in the diagnosis. These are things you're talking about. Not a product, not the serum, nothing. And you stop. At the end of the diagnosis, I like to even talk through the cleanse and the exfoliation. I don't like to talk about the Kardashians and what's happening, in the US elections, I like to focus on skin. And during that, I will talk about tranexamic acid and I'll talk about the benefits of tranexamic acid, how they should be cleansing. So Susie, how are you cleansing your skin? Oh, I use a foam and I jump in the shower. She's got dreadfully dry skin. This is the chance to talk to your customer. But at the end of the exfoliation, I stop. I stop there because the next bit is their time. But guess what? You've planted the seed. I used to see it all the time. Before we started doing the flow chart in my clinic, I'd see my junior therapists spend all this time at the beginning of the treatment doing, whatever. And then at the end going, okay, Susie, I really want you to buy calming gel, calming lotion, this moisturizer. And then Susie's like, no, because her journey's over. She's done. And she's now being sold products. She's not using anything that she was talked about, that she gave permission for you to talk about. It's just block. It's just a block. It's all about those little questions at the beginning.
And they don't want to think after their facial. You've done your job. They're relaxed. Don't do that.
And they are in a really great state to really start using the ingredient that you talked about.
Yeah. And also, one thing that will help, it's when you take the before picture and after picture and you show them and you talk to them after the treatment and say, this is what I use. I use the tranexamic acid, and look at the difference. And this will help you, to recommend that ingredient as well.
Do not write anything down for them.
All right.
Okay. So, because if the clients at they'll say no, okay, and you might say, well, next time, or you might provide them, with a sample. With a sample, it's hard because they could go away. You have to be ready for this. They might go away and look for it elsewhere. But this happens with all brands. It happens in every salon. This is not something that is unique to us. You have to believe in yourself. This is why I'm not crazy for samples. For me, I think samples are really important with moisturizers, with texture. Okay, because the texture and so forth, with CCs and DDs for color. But sampling serums, what for? I mean, you need a serum over a period of time to show effect. you really are just giving them an opportunity to go elsewhere. So, in my salon, I do not like my therapists to give sample serums. I don't.
Hard one because we do have, that's what we
Yep.
get,
Yep.
samples of all the serums, and that isn't
Yep.
my favorite to sample because you really don't know.
Yep.
But I want to simplify. I love what you did here because this is what I always explain to people. It's about listening. If I come to you, or maybe I'm jumping ahead when we go to skin conditions, but if I come to you and they're, interested, not interested, things you're asking, it's about listening to what your client wants to, and you're kind of feeling your way with this. If they're concerned, if they're not, if they're happy, how you suggest it. So it's really about listening too,
Yeah.
what they want.
We need to actively listen. This is a really big part of our job. And write things down. Don't be scared to write lots of notes. Notes. I think sometimes now we're on iPads and things, and this does stop just writing. Like
Yeah.
you go through the notes, we still keep written notes in my clinic. They do go to the computer, but we still keep, there's so many, they'll do written notes. My staff will do written notes like this, and then they'll do an iPad notes like that. I'm like, where did all the rest of it go? So anyway, so any questions on these ones? We'll go on to the skin conditions.
No, I think it's pretty simple. As long as you ask the question, you are going to get answers, and it's going to help you recommend the right products on that appointment or maybe on the next appointment. So
Yeah,
this is
even the
perfect.
next one. You keep all this for next time. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go back to this particular customer. So I will just get you now, Edith, just to present a customer to me.
Yes. All right. So I have a customer who has hyperpigmentation. But so she's around 50 years old, and she had acne. So she has hyperpigmentation from acne, but also she has age spot as well. Okay, so what do you think she will need to use for that two types of hyperpigmentation?
Okay, wonderful. Now, with pigment, and this is why I wanted to do this one first, is I always say with clients with pigmentation is we need a contract. We need an agreement. Okay, what we're gonna call this lady Kylie. Okay, Kylie. I love Kylie.
Okay.
So
That was my client.
Kylie.
Not a problem.
I'm gonna say to Kylie, we're going to go forward with treatments, there's one product that is absolutely non-negotiable, and this is SPF 50 every single day.
Absolutely, yes.
So this is the one product that we cannot not go on the journey together with. And I would say it's a non-negotiable. And it needs to be SPF 50, and it needs to be applied properly. Okay. So
Properly and multiple times.
And multiple times. So Kylie says, yes, Will, I'm going to use that. So I'm going to focus on some different ingredients with pigmentation. Vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is a wonderful ingredient for many things. It's a powerful antioxidant. It helps with the capillary strength. We know it causes instant, really instant radiance to the skin. Beautiful product. But it is also a melanin inhibitor. What is a melanin inhibitor? If you think about it, turning down the music. Okay, music's blaring, it turns down the music. It turns down the music, turns down the amount of melanin being produced. Wonderful ingredient. Next ingredient is niacinamide. Niacinamide, or vitamin B3, wow, it has so many benefits. It helps with skin barrier. Vitamin B3 niacinamide is essential for ceramide production. But one of its other benefits is it inhibits the transfer of melanin in the skin, the sending of melanin. Essential ingredient for pigmentation. Third one is azelaic acid, is another melanin inhibitor and an anti-inflammatory ingredient. Wow. So we have an anti-inflammatory ingredient because a lot of post-traumatic acne pigmentation comes from the inflammation. And then the last ingredient, the one, is the tranexamic acid. So these four ingredients are essential for treating pigmentation. So I would suggest these ingredients, talk about these ingredients within the diagnosis and the time with the client, and I would prescribe at the end. How I would prescribe this is AM, the 15% vitamin C serum. Now I say all over or spot treatment. Now, our past vitamin C, I probably said this a little less, but our current vitamin C is very strong. Now, I've had customers, clients come back and say, oh, it's too strong. Why didn't they make it this? Why didn't they make it that? Pigmentation is a bugger to treat. Sorry, but it is a bugger to treat. Why would we have a vitamin C serum, a pigmentation serum that's not strong? So people can use it as their daily glow serum. I'm not interested in this vitamin C being a daily glow serum. That might be a side benefit. We want to treat pigmentation. So for that customer, it might be just spot treatment on the area of pigmentation. Not a problem. If they can handle it all over, then all over the skin. The next product would be the Sun High VU Protection Cream. Now, why do I not suggest putting a moisturizer in between this? Okay, so in the High UV Sun Protection Cream, we have vitamin C, and we have niacinamide, and we have hyaluronic acid. Okay, so we have...
Sorry, Will, but can you use it as a moisturizer?
Yes. And because I have a bit of a problem with people with pigmentation using thick, greasy moisturizers and then putting a sunscreen over the top. Now, that might work okay with the physical sunscreens, but with chemicals, guess what? It needs to melt into the skin. It needs to work into the skin. So I truly believe that this is the perfect day moisturizer for people with pigmentation to make sure they're getting that SPF 50. In the evening, they would apply their 20% niacinamide serum all over because it's going to benefit the skin all over, ceramide production, barrier health, but also inhibit the transfer of melanin. And then they're going to use another moisturizer, and this would be their second skin condition moisturizer. So the client I'm talking about might say, I've got wrinkles as well as pigmentation, and we would go loss of volume as the skin condition and ultimate anti-age as the skin product.
Okay.
So we have a question about tranexamic acid, what it is, and which product is it in?
Yes. So this is a new ingredient that we're working with that we create in the lab, and it is found only in the 15% vitamin C serum. Okay, and it is chemically a melanin inhibitor. It is now thought of as the benchmark or the star of over-the-counter pigmentation treatment ingredients. We've now moved a little bit away from using alpha-arbutin. Remember, we worked with alpha-arbutin before. Alpha-arbutin changed into hydroquinone in the skin, but a lot of countries have banned this now. So tranexamic acid is the actual ingredient. What I will provide is a slide on tranexamic acid because it's so exciting and it's a class in itself, but I'll provide that in the cheat sheet because this is a new ingredient. So after in the cheat sheet, after this, you'll see I'll do a slide today. I won't sleep. I'll do a slide today on tranexamic acid, okay, because your customers will ask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a question because, you have customers who are going to overuse the product. So, you tell them to use the 15% vitamin C serum during the day, plus the sunscreen. They're doing it perfect. But at night, you are telling them to use the 20% niacinamide serum. But they are like, well, if I use the vitamin C on spot treatment underneath my niacinamide, I will have better result. What do you think about that?
Okay. So layering products in that way, if you wanted to layer niacinamide, okay, think about it. If you wanted to layer niacinamide over your C, it's not going to be a problem, but you're getting niacinamide in the sunscreen. Okay, this is why the two products are a dynamic duo.
Mhm.
Getting the near, and this is why we've put it in the sunscreen. This wasn't just a formula we came up with because, in Germany we thought, oh, we might just put that. We might just, we'll put that. No, this sunscreen was developed for that person with pigmentation because
Mhm.
we're using this vitamin C serum, but what about the customer that doesn't want a layer? Isn't
Mhm.
into layering serums? Then what do? We put the niacinamide in the treatment product. Our sunscreen is a treatment product. We've also done this in the clear skin products. We've put the niacinamide in the cream,
Mhm.
okay? In the cream. That's the difference between the Medical Institute treatment products, the treatment creams, and Bioscience. There's not that focus through, but you'll find that we've worked very strategically with ingredients in serums and moisturizers when they are suggested correctly.
Okay.
Now, a little bit about post-inflammatory pigmentation with acne. Okay, this is why when we talk about the acne client, is we also suggest the acne client starting the vitamin C serum. So we'll talk about that, but that is a form of vitamin C of pigmentation, and our vitamin C is very good at treating it. Very, very good at treating it. Okay, so that was our pigmentation.
Mhm.
Me ask about pigmentation because here for the estheticians, I feel okay, they do a week or two, but how do you keep them on the regimen? Because the biggest thing is people don't follow through. That's the
Yeah.
only thing they don't get the results is, oh, and they're impatient, impatience, I know we agreed. I tell them over and over, 3 months, just, because I know they're going to see it sooner, but don't even ask, the before and after pictures, but they get so impatient. Will, what can we tell them?
Sorry, I'm just looking for something. Excuse me.
Zappy, I went to take a nap.
Sorry, I'm coming back. Okay, so with the pigmentation customer, it's the hardest one. We never make promises. We never make promises to the pigmentation customer because it only takes one visit out to a barbecue on Sunday and forgotten sunscreen to go right back to the beginning. So we always set really realistic expectations with the pigmentation customer that they have to go on the journey with all of the products completely, and it's a process when we never promise. The other ones we can really work with, but this one, most of the time it will never go away. Okay, we will lighten it. But one secret with pigmentation is we have our little 10% peeling pads. Now, if you think about pigmentation, think about this as our stratum corneum. Okay, if I have one sheet, and that is one skin cell, if that has pigment on it, and I can sort of see the light through that, okay, that's quite light. But if I have 15 of them, guess what? That is no longer light and it's dark. So lots of laid pigmented skin cells in the corneum will make pigmentation on the surface look darker. If you can get the client starting this straight away, they will see immediate lightening to their pigmentation because guess what? We're reducing all that dark pigment at the surface. Everything else is going on underneath. Most of the pigmentation, well, all the pigmentation ingredients we're working with here are working down low and they can take time. But if for immediate lightening, guess what? These pads work a treat. And if they just want to use them on the actual spot area, not a problem. But these are an essential part of a pigmentation program as well.
And they would use those at night, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Every night or every other
two or
night?
3 times a week on dry skin. I like to leave it for 3 to 5 minutes and then put your moisturizer over the top. Don't waste the pad. So you put it all over the face, then put it on your cuticles, put it on your neck, everywhere. All this product is glycolic acid and panthenol. Beautiful product. It was a fantastic product.
Yeah, and make sure the customer will not wash it off, okay?
Yeah. Stays on the skin. Okay, so the next one we're going to focus in is acne. Nicole, take me away.
All right. So Belinda has tight skin and congestion in her T-zone and some redness as well with some post-inflammatory pigmentation.
Okay. So acne, we mainly deal with adult acne. We're not here in Australia, we're not really a big teenage acne brand. We work mainly with adult acne, and we work with acne in combination skins, and we work with acne in dry skins. Okay. So with acne, I like to think about 4 ingredients: vitamin C, niacinamide, skin biotics, and salicylic acid, with the main ones being salicylic acid and niacinamide. These 2 ingredients. So we'll talk about why would you use vitamin C in acne, post-inflammatory pigmentation spots. Okay, so we are preventing and treating those spots from developing from pigment. What role does niacinamide play with acne? In the control of the sebum in the sebaceous gland. We used to work with, remember in the anti-shine pore refining serum, we used to work with pistachio nut gel gum or something, but and all these sorts of things. No, we now work with niacinamide, because what does it do? It slows down and controls the amount of oil in the sebaceous gland. What does that oil cause? The blockages. Too much oil, too thick oil causes the blockages in both combination skin and in dry skin. Skin biotics. Well, if a skin is suffering from acne, you can guarantee that the bacteria levels aren't right because the pH is what? Too high. And salicylic acid, what is salicylic acid? Keep the pores nice and clean and clear so that sebum doesn't have trouble getting to the surface. So what I would suggest for the acne client, what I'd start talking about is when clients come in with active angry acne, I always go straight for CBD serum. Why? Because of the lactococcus ferment lysate and the CBD. Okay, but mainly the lactococcus ferment lysate. It is a postbiotic. It is all of the beautiful nutrients. It's like chopped up bits of the good bacteria. It provides all the nutrition that good bacteria needs. When good bacteria flourishes, pH comes down and the skin goes back into balance. So a client comes in active, angry acne, I'm not going to be giving them the 15% vitamin C. So the CBD serum really is the first step. Then when everything's nice and under control, we can move into 15% vitamin C, and that might just be, again, spot treating. Then we would say suggested skin condition moisturizer, or they can use the Sun High V UV protection cream if they want to as their moisturizer, no problem at all. Mm-hmm. The suggested skin moisturizers would be the Clear Skin 24 combination or the Clear Skin Anti-Age. In the evening, these 2 products are really important. We know what ingredients in them, but they have the same ingredients, guess what? But different pHs and different usage. The BHA serum is an exfoliating serum. It's a clearing serum. It has salicylic acid and zinc gluconate, but it is at a pH that offers a skin smoothing, encouraging natural desquamation. It needs to be applied onto dry skin, to be left for 3 to 5 minutes, and then moisturizer over the top. The anti-blemish stick is different. It just goes directly onto the skin, no moisturizer underneath, no moisturizer on top. And guess what? I love to alternate them. Alternate them each night. People might say, why do I need one? Why do I need both? Because they work differently. One works as an exfoliant. The anti-blemish stick does not work as an exfoliant. It's a drying, healing product. Whilst the BHA serum is working as a slight skin smoothing exfoliating product. But it's not super low pH, so it's really lovely and gentle as well. And then over the top of that, we would work with one of the Clear Skin products.
Can a customer use the anti-blemish stick during the day?
Absolutely.
in the US, you have all those kids walking around with those little dots everywhere.
Yeah.
So they could do that, right?
Yeah. So the thing is with the anti-blemish stick, so you get them starting to use it on alternating nights and so forth. I find if you're using it every single night, it can be drying. So the reason this product, it has alcohol in it, the reason it has so much alcohol in it is because it's a brush.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be able to make sure that it doesn't have, bacteria growing within the product. But this product can be drying if it's overused. What do we know happens to when skin is dry? If skin is dry, the sebaceous gland is triggered to produce more oil. So if we're burning and drying out the surface, we're thinking, are we doing a good thing? Are we doing a good thing? No, because we're triggering this. The skin is so clever. The skin is going, oh no, I need more oil. But it's pushing up the oil, but it's clogged because the dead skin cells clogging it. So we're just causing more pimples. So what we don't want to do is over dry. The BHA serum can go around an area, no problem. This needs to go directly on the spot, and it is never to be used as a preemptive product. BHA is preemptive. You might say, I get them here, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, BHA, oh my gosh, fantastic product for blocked pores on the nose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But with this product, it needs, okay, a pimple's coming up on the pimple. That's it, until the pimple's gone. But do not use it. Oh, sometimes I get pimples there, so I'm just going to paint the entire area. I'm just going to paint. And guess what? Oh, yeah, I promise you, your skin will break out. Oh, no, your blemish stick made me break out. Why did it break out? Because I painted it on areas it shouldn't have been on, which caused more sebum, which caused a pimple. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Sorry, I get very excited when it comes to the blemish stick. Well, the blemish stick has been in our line since 50 years. It's like, it is a cult. I sell more of that product per item than any product.
I love it so much, and I'm so addicted to it. I don't even think of some of these little things that you're saying. So these are so great because I was like, it sells itself, but
we have all our mums. They keep it in the emergency. They put it on mosquito bites, on cuts and abrasions. It's perfect. It's so fantastic. It really is. So any questions about the acne client?
No, I think it's pretty clear.
Nicole, again, on a client with red skin, Cooperose.
Okay, our Cooperose, Kylie has red, some inflammation, and she is prone to breakouts and also has some melasma.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're working me today. So she's got some melasma melasma, and she's breaking out a little bit.
Yeah, and I like this one because she came to me for melasma, but I see that this is my concern is the redness and the inflammation. So how do you speak to her?
Yeah, so I think it's important with this particular client, and this is again a tough one. Okay, is that there will be the condition the customer sees, but there'll also be the condition you see. And this is when you can start to cycle serums if you would like, okay, working to treat, all of these concerns. So let's focus on a general concern board. We'll work with the ingredients. Skin biotics, really important for Cooperose rosacea, especially, and red skins. Niacinamide, okay, and azelaic acid and CBD. Okay, so these ingredients, I'm thinking, okay, what is about the skin biotics? We know healthy, good bacteria keeps the skin in a nice acidic balance. When the skin is acidic, then it functions properly. When skin is functioning properly, guess what? It can deal with inflammation itself. I think now we think skin's an idiot. We need to provide it with ingredients. We need to tell it what to do all the time. Guess what? This skin's been around far longer than we have, and it has done okay without the 17 serums we're applying over the week. Okay. But so we need to actually work with the skin and just provide it everything so it can get back into balance. And that's what skin biotics do. I talk about skin biotics all the time. They really are my favorite ingredient. Niacinamide. So why is niacinamide important? Niacinamide is essential in the production of ceramides. What are ceramides? Ceramides make up 50% of the skin oils, the skin barrier. Niacinamide is an essential ingredient. Azelaic acid is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And CBD, again, an anti-inflammatory ingredient. So in AM, with red skin conditions, I would use the CBD serum. I would use the CBD serum because it's got the skin biotics and it's got CBD. And it also, if we think about, we haven't put it here, CBD serum has oligohyaluronic acid. Oligohyaluronic acid is the smallest in the hyaluronic acid family. And it's not about surface hydration. It's about deep hydration. And it has a triggering anti-inflammatory effect. So it stimulates the production of our own hyaluronic acid, but also an anti-inflammatory effect down deep in the skin. Oligohyaluronic acid is not about surface plumping. We use it in our skincare for deep, deep hydration. Then the suggested skin condition moisturizer, which might be the Couperose Care Spot or All Over, or the Hypersensitive Care as well. Then in the evening, you will work with the 10% azelaic acid serum and the Couperose 24-hour care. So you might say, well, why do we need the Couperose 24-hour care if we're using the 10% azelaic? In the Couperose care, we have a peptide called telangian. Now, this peptide is really clever. So whilst azelaic acid really calms inflammation, what does telangian do? It prevents it. Okay? It prevents the inflammation from occurring. And so this is why we work with our serums, but we also work with our treatment moisturizers in medical. And how do we know those ingredients are getting really nice and deep into the skin is by the DMC, the dermal membrane complex, which is in every single medical product, moisturizer product. What is DMC? Think about DMC as the shuttle. It helps the ingredients get deep into the skin. So if you put a serum on, that's great. The serum sort of gets in, it sits on the surface. But then you put one of the Medical Institute moisturizers over the top. Guess what? It's not only carrying the serum you've put on through, but it's carrying the ingredients in the Medical Institute moisturizer deep into the skin where they have to be. What is dermal membrane complex? Okay, comes from lecithin, and it mimics the natural fat composition on the skin. We call it liquid skin.
I like that.
Guess what? Natural skin allows the movement of ingredients, doesn't it? If you think about the natural composition of the skin, where all the ceramides are, where all the fats, the cholesterols, the sebum, all of that, it allows the transfer. So this particular product allows all that beautiful transfer of ingredients through the skin, and we find this in our Medical Institute moisturizers. Derma membrane complex. We were one of the first companies in the world to start using this ingredient in our Medic Skin product 15 years ago. Medic Skin eventually became hypersensitive. And I liked the fact, to be honest, that it was called Medic Skin. Now hypersensitive is not prescribed enough for me. I know I've gotten Karen onto it, but for me, because it really is our barrier cream. It really is a barrier cream. But all of the moisturizers in medical have this ingredient in it.
I just have to brag about Biodroga always being ahead, because when the Biodroga Medical came out, I think it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested. I didn't want such clean.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes
but it's like it's the most demand right now. It's the best.
we talk about it in Germany that we were really at the forefront here. We get all the wind and the rain and the snow in our faces. So, we were the first one, one of the first ones to really start reformulating. And it was tough. It was hard because the biggest ones were the pegs and the cyclic silicons. These two ingredients were essential to the texture of our products. These were tough, and it really has taken time. We've now perfected it. You feel second and third wave products, beautiful.
I also wanted to say, I have to take back a little bit of what I said in the beginning for the people that are not Biodroga customers, because after going through this presentation, yes, we can match a product up with you that, is for that symptom or condition, but I can't say that they have these ingredients in them.
Going to be
I
difficult.
really
yes.
can't. I mean, and it's become very clear to me, very clear to me that we're not going to find the exact same product ingredients in the other lines. Not saying that we can't help you with
We
other
could,
lines.
we could provide, I could provide this for you as a template, and it'd be
Yeah.
very easy to cross
Oh,
this your
absolutely.
brand.
And also, I did want to say, that we're only going through serums and moisturizers here, but just remember, as Will has taught me, for acne skin and cuperous or sensitive skin, you do need the right cleanser and lotion, which we don't need to go through today if we don't have time. But it is really important for those two that you use the right cleanser and toner.
Yeah. So
Along with
both of acne and red skin, both of those cleansers and lotions really attach themselves to this skin condition. And again, they contain the ingredients across the board that we use in all of the products. So it's really a system. So I say with acne skin, you need 5 products: cleansing fluid, clarifying lotion, BHA serum, anti-blemish stick, treatment, moisturizer. That you need 5. Okay.
Yep.
With red skin rosacea, calming gel to oil, calming lotion, CBD. Okay. And the Couperose cream, and potentially the hypersensitive cream if you want a little bit extra nourishment. So
And the sunscreen always.
always. Well, yeah, so with the sunscreen, I'm just like, that's the non-negotiable. I really truly believe that this for people is a non-negotiable product.
We have the CC and the DD. Like, you have choices now. It's amazing.
So it's interesting. Let's just talk about one little thing for a moment. There's a lot of talk about why aren't the Medic Skin products as thick, okay, as Bioscience. Okay, so I will tell you now that the absorption of active ingredients from a thick moisturizer as opposed to a oil in water emulsion using DMC, the absorption is so much greater. So you will not find these thick, rich, nutritious moisturizers in medical. We have them in Bioscience. Okay. Bioscience is about feel, texture, experience, performance as well. But in medical, we will not have those thick, greasy, because getting those ingredients into the skin is harder in thick creams. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's also true with those creams that still have silicones.
Yeah.
Silicones will prevent the active ingredients getting into the skin.
Silicons are like putting cling wrap on the face. They really are. It's one ingredient that I'm so glad we don't have anymore. Of course, I don't use, a makeup that, some people are very attached to, but, removing silicons for many, many reasons. Okay, let's just quickly go through a couple of others before we have questions. Loss of volume. So the focus here would be vitamin C in the mornings, retinol, and peptides. Now we're working with peptides, and in, the peptide serum, we work with 5 different peptides. We work with one that stimulates collagen, one that lays beautiful collagen, one that is an anti-inflammatory that prevents collagenesis or the breakdown of collagen, one anti-glycation peptide, which helps with the oxidation of glucose in the skin, and one mimic peptide that mimics glutathione, our master antioxidant. So I'm not a big fan of layering serums. I prefer to cycle serums. I'm a big fan of cycling serums. And the way I talk to my customers about this is just think about, if you just keep layering, think about the stomach, okay? Is if you overeat, what happens? Oh, you get bloated, doesn't feel so good, something, like it's just not right. As opposed to eating a nice healthy diet every single day and not eating too much and eating a varied diet instead of trying to shove it all down in one sitting. Okay, so our skin is the same. I truly believe that skin responds to regular, consistent application of ingredients, and serum cycling works. Day 1 peptide, day 2 peptide, day 3 retinol. Now this is, and you could start again. Okay, or you could pop in CBD, no problem. Okay, you could put CBD into any routine, okay, any routine at all, because the skin always needs those beautiful skin biotics. But peptide, retinol works really, really well. The vitamin C serum during the morning, then there's suggested skin moisturizer, sun UV, serum cycling in the evening, and then either the Ultimate Care or the Ultimate Care Rich. Now, why the Ultimate Care? Because whilst the peptides in the serum, we have 5 powerful tetrapeptide, acetyl peptides, hexapeptides. We have 3 other peptides in the Ultimate Cream. And they are one peptide called pentalactin. What does pentalactin do? It is a skin cell stimulator. So it helps stimulate lots of beautiful, fresh, new cells. We have another ingredient called clothide. What it does is it mimics the youth hormone in the skin. And then we have a third very powerful collagen and elastin stimulating peptide, as well as ceramides, as well as oligohyaluronic acid, all of these ingredients. So that is in the Ultimate Moisturizer. If you're using peptide serum as well as Ultimate Anti-Age, whoa, you are getting every single ingredient your skin needs for loss of volume. We officially call it loss of volume. Your clients will say lines and wrinkles. Next one.
Perfect.
And then
we will sorry, Will, but we will provide those slides to each of you guys, okay?
Yeah, these and more. I've got a whole cheat sheet going, so yeah. And the last one is really simple, dehydration. And so with this client, 15% vitamin C serum, guess what? There's high and low molecular hyaluronic acid in our vitamin C serum. So there's no need to layer. Some people are going, oh, I want to use hyaluronic acid and vitamin C. Unnecessary. Okay, so there's vitamin C during the morning, suggested skin moisturizer, UV protection cream. Guess what? There's hyaluronic acid in the sunscreen. And then in the evening, the 3% hyaluronic complex serum. And don't forget, it has 4 types of hyaluronic. High, low, acetylated, one we haven't talked about, which is fat loving, really binds into the skin, and oligo, but also a collagen stimulating peptide in the hyaluronic acid serum. And then our Hydro Effect creams, which again have all of those hyaluronic acid, but lots of ceramides, lots and lots of ceramides in the Hydro Effect creams. And that's our suggestions for our 6 skin conditions. Now, I just want to remind everyone, this is about when we're focusing on skin conditions. You might say, well, what about the other moisturizers in bioscience? We can definitely introduce them, but these are when we're focusing on results-focused skin conditions and solutions. Okay?
Okay. I have a question for you, Will. What can you replace the vitamin C serum with if someone is allergic to vitamin C?
Niacinamide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah, niacinamide. If I I talk about skin biotics being my favorite ingredient, but really the most versatile ingredient is niacinamide. So if your customer could only have one serum, niacinamide, because remember niacinamide also has azelaic acid in it. It's a combo, niacinamide and azelaic, and there's also another ingredient that is a skin biotic. Okay, so it's a great serum. So this is absolutely for everyone. Ceramide production, skin barrier health, even skin tone, um, hyaluronic acid synthesis. It really is the great all-rounder. So I really sometimes say niacinamide is our most powerful natural anti-aging ingredient. It helps with skin health. Guess what? Healthy skin produces collagen.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. It's an anti-inflammatory, contains azelaic acid. So it really is the great all-rounder.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hmm.
I think we have
Yeah.
a question in the chat, Karen, if you want to go over those.
Okay. What do you say to a client that feels that 20 SPF is good enough for them?
Okay. So I truly believe that I'm just going to go out of this. There is also hypersensitive, but let's leave. We can pop that. It's very simple hypersensitive. It's the
No, go
CB.
ahead and go through it. I think it's a good
Yeah.
one.
So with hypersensitized skin, it's really very simple. It's CBD serum morning and night, and the hypersensitive cream day and night. It's hypersensitized skin likes simplicity. It does not like lots and lots of layering of ingredients, and it just needs support. Hypersensitized skin hopefully will not stay hypersensitized. So we have sensitive skin. Sensitive skin you will have forever. This is sensitive skin. Hypersensitized condition is a heightened state of sensitivity that could quite easily go back to normal.
Like after you're sick or after you got sunburned or things like that.
During
Out of,
COVID,
out of balance.
yeah. During
Any
COVID,
acid treatments done or microneedling or something like that?
yeah.
A lot of self-induced, because I always think of gut health as well. You know, we have all our sensitivities and reactions because of our gut health, and it's the same thing with the skin health. It's about getting it back into balance and healthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So questions.
Okay, so the one was, what do you say to somebody that says 20 SPF is good enough?
Okay, so 20 SPF is would be absolutely fine if you do not have pigmentation issues. So if pigmentation is your issue, then it's SPF 50 is a non-negotiable. Okay, so but for that customer who just wants UV protection, then SPF 20 in a moisturizer would be no problem. However, if they're going to go out in direct sunlight during lunch, throw the footy around, be with the kids, they need to be wearing SPF 50 because we do not want to get those sunspots or pigmented areas happening. But I never go in the sun. I don't. So I use SPF 15, okay? Because guess what? I have very sensitive skin. Sometimes it's hypersensitized, and chemical sunscreens can cause sensitivity in my skin. SPF 50 has to contain more, almost double the amount of what SPF 15 would. So you've got to weigh up what is this concern and how we could negate this concern. For me,
I also think it's where you live, because in Texas,
yeah.
if I drive with an SPF 20 from work to home, this side of my face is way darker than this side of my face.
Yeah.
So I think I think it depends on how often they're outside.
Yeah.
And where they live and if they have hyperpigmentation, all of those.
My concern with moisturizers that are sunscreens is that people tend to just apply them like lightly, like a moisturizer. They don't apply it like a sunscreen. And you want to apply sunscreen like a sunscreen. Nice and thick reapplication. This is really, really, really important. So you can get a little bit like, oh, I'm just putting a moisturizer on. I don't like my moisturizers too thick. It's not giving you the protection that it needs to.
All right,
This-
and then okay, the next question is what would be the best treatment for hormonal inflammatory acne? How would you change the acne?
Yeah, so with hormonal inflammatory acne, it's the same routine, okay? However, I would introduce the rich care in the evening. Okay, so
Clear skin.
pardon, yeah, yeah,
The clear skin.
the clear skin.
It's
Yeah,
clear skin anti-aging, I think it's called now, Mrs. Red, yeah.
yeah. So the clear skin anti-age cream is similar formula to the combination cream, and it focuses on niacinamide and salicylic acid, okay, but also retinol.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have three real defenses at acne. Now, you might, and this question comes up a lot, you might say, well, if it's dry skin or dryish skin, then why are we using niacinamide that reduces sebum? You think to yourself, well, actually, what is this? So what niacinamide does is it increases, because when a skin is dry, it will stimulate more production of sebum. Okay, so this is where you get adult dry acne, is the sebum starts producing and coming up, but it's blocked. So it's producing because it feels dry. What we want to do is have the niacinamide in the clear skin product to increase the amount of ceramides in the skin. And also there's ceramides in the skincare product itself. Because when the skin then registers a beautiful balance of oils, guess what happens to the sebum? It drops.
Mm-hmm.
So with these hormonal type acne, I truly believe that combination skin product during the day, no problem. And then introduce the rich product. It's not super rich. I love, love, love this cream. We've had this cream for a very long time. It's different to the Pure and Dry. Remember Pure and Dry and Bioscience was really quite rich and thick. This is a different product. Why? Because we want to get those ingredients into the skin where they're supposed to be. So it's a nice lipid balance, but it's not too thick. I think all acne customers can benefit from the combination product during the day and then rich in the evening with the retinol. Because what does retinol do? It's going to help with pigmentation, uneven skin. It's going to be anti-aging in the way that it helps with collagen production, but it's also going to make sure that those skin cells are really nice and healthy. They function, they're not too sticky, they're releasing. So skin cell health is really essential in those people with acne. So working with the two products together, it's perfect.
Especially for the older person. Another question I have is if I'm a new esthetician and I don't have that much product knowledge, ideas to get there, but also how do you deal with your customers like a well-rounded approach to their issues?
So you will notice on all of our products, we actually list the active ingredients. Us trainers have always been very encouraging of this because it really does help the therapist to learn to look and see, okay, there's niacinamide and salicylic acid in this product. Then it's up to you. And the way I like to do it with my students is I get them to write, first of all, they write the ingredient. Then I want them to write a sentence explaining it is the next step. 2 lines. Then I want them then to give me a paragraph. And a paragraph. So we go from 2 words on a box to 2 sentences, okay, to a paragraph of information, and that's up to you to research. So we offer in our product manual, if you go to the product manual, you will see each ingredient has a blurb. So that is the minimum I want you to learn. And then Google and find out as much as you can about that ingredient.
And I love that because actually a new esthetician, I'm like, you're not expected to know all these, but we learn. And while they're changing, you have time to look on your phone real quick and get the key points that you want to tell them. And you will keep learning by doing that. Each client learn a couple things to say about the ingredients.
So on the cheat sheet that I'm going to provide you after this, I've listed the actives and I've listed your paragraph for you. Okay, so all the information I'd love you to learn just right now is all on there.
And if you watch Will's videos consistently, you will know your products in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, the videos on WhatsApp, definitely. Yeah. Another thing is you can download our training manual with Biodroga from our website. So it's available to everybody. What about you, Nicole?
What
Can your
about?
customers download the Biodroga training manual
Yes.
from your website? Okay.
Well, the
And
manual.
also, and sorry to interrupt, sorry, sorry. Also, please don't forget, you can call this office, and I'm sure Nicole and Sonia as well, anytime. We love to talk about ingredients. We love to talk about products. And the more we hear from you, we know the more successful you're going to be.
We
So
love questions.
please do not hesitate to call any of us.
Yes. The people I work with, new people, I love questions because we do see you grow. It's a fact. I know the people,
Yeah.
that's how I started, was I was on the phone with my trainer all the time. And that's what I see. And they grow, and then they no longer need me. But you always have to come back because we reformulate and stuff. But yeah, that's how you grow. So we actually appreciate.
There's a lady in Germany called Nicole Frank, and she creates our products. And I email her all the time. I'm like her worst stalker. So I'm like, and I think we have a great relationship. We have a really great relationship because I need to make sure sometimes things in manuals get lost in translation. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm the first to say to them, do you know what? And this is what I found in the rich product of the clear skin, because they weren't explaining properly why we need to reduce sebum production in a dry skin. Because therapists will come back, why would you do that? Well, you want to increase ceramides, but you want to decrease sebum because it's the sebum that's causing the blockage. And I was like, that makes sense. But in the training manual, it was getting lost in translation from German to English. So I ask the questions from Germany, I make sure it's all right, and then we provide this information for you. So if you have these questions, come back. I don't know, Nicole doesn't know, Edith doesn't know, we will ask Germany. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Are you saying use the rich even like on a teenage acne skin?
No, this
No, you're
product
talking about adult.
This product is not for teenage acne. This product is for adult acne.
Yeah.
And when I say, it does say the product is rich, and this can be a little deceiving. Medical rich is not the same as bioscience rich. So it is an oil and water emulsion, little bit of oil, lots of water, but it's just a little bit richer in lipids for those skins that are normal to dry, but still getting blemishes. If a client has really oily, greasy skin, it's not the product for them. Okay, it's not the product. But most of the customers we are dealing with are adult acne. And I promise you, most of them aren't super oily. They're not like these teenage oily situations. So they
Which
can,
is the next question. Is it okay to use clear skin line on dry acne?
yes, that's what it's made for. So even the cleansing fluid is not designed for a skin type. Any skin type can use cleansing fluid. It's a skin condition, acne. Then they would use the Rich Care product as their moisturizer, but all the other steps are the same.
And I
Perfect.
think it's beautiful. Like for me, that was my problem too, is because most people, that's why I gave the example of congested but tight and dry, as people are drying out their skin. We're about getting it in balance and healthy. And they're not going to feel that stripping. They're not. They're going to feel like we want it healthy. That's the goal.
This is why the reformulation of Clear Skin, the anti-age product, had to be really very careful that it wasn't too rich, because it's really about balancing. It's about getting a little bit dryish skin back to normal, not over nourishing a dry skin. It's not about over nourishing. It's all about balance with acne. Overnourishment is not a friend of acne. Balance is a friend of acne. Balancing the ceramides, balancing the moisture, nice healthy barrier with a perfect cream that is not too greasy, not too light.
Next question. Thank you so much. What can we add for clients on the pigmentation regimen who have scarring and acne scars?
So my question is acne scars that are pigmented, I presume? Yeah.
It's in the chat, so I'm not. I would think on the pigmentation regimen who have scarring and acne scars. I would imagine, yes.
Yeah. So none of our products are going to treat scarring. Okay. So we just need to be very honest about that. We can definitely improve texture and tone. If you smooth out the stratum corneum, it's going to make scars look less obvious. Okay. So definitely. But vitamin C is perfect for post-inflammatory pigmentation from acne. So I suggest with the customer, we get them the active acne really under control, not red and angry anymore. The inflammation is under control, and then we can start to spot treat over the acne lesions that are healing whilst they're in that healing phase. And this is when we will prevent and treat post-inflammatory pigmentation.
Okay, and then
A question real quick, because we addressed this before. So, and this is a big one, kind of off topic, but a big thing that our customers say, how do I prevent my customers from buying elsewhere, such as online? And this is important to talk about our experiences of bad products, fakes.
So, like I said before, we're not unique in this, and we were really became very aware of this when we kept other product companies many, many years ago, and we had a company in a website come up, and it was offering everything so cheap. And everyone goes into panic mode and starts discounting, and I'm like, yeah, everyone just needs to calm down and think about how we approach this. So when I talk to my salons, I'm going to put my salon distributor hat on now, is we start talking to them about starting rewards programs in salon. And so when they purchase product through us, and these rewards programs were product focused. They were product focused. So, and we rewarded the customers by the more points they got. And we made these rewards things like back massages that could be attached to their treatment, foot treatments, but also with smaller products like hand cares. So we encouraged this rewards loyalty program, and it worked. It really worked. Those customers that we lost to this specific website, I'm sorry, but their hairdresser lost them. They all lost them because they were getting everything from these other sites, and we were not going to win that war. But by providing a rewards program, we encouraged loyalty and we rewarded their loyalty. Because guess what? There's something called the WWW now, and it's a big world out there. When I first started, that was not the case. But guess what? Sitting back complaining that this is happening is not going to help anyone. So I work with my customers and saying, let's start a rewards program for you. Bella's Beauty Therapy's reward program. For each product, you get this point. When you get these points, we do this for you. And it works. It really, really, really works. With the Amazon situation, so recently I had a customer contact me. They had bought a moisturizer online and they were complaining that the product didn't smell right. So where did you get this? And then eventually got out of them that they'd bought it on Amazon or from another space. So I got them to send me like the code at the bottom of here. So I can see here it was made, its first date here will tell you the year that it was produced. Okay, so this is a 23, so it was made in 2022. Okay. So this product in itself, this is our tester product. Okay. This product in itself is really coming to the end. 3 years. Okay. 3 years from production. I do not like to sell these products out. So this is just a tester we have in the salon here. But this product that she gave me was 8 years old or something, 8.5 years old. It was not right. So I said to her, I'm really sorry that this product is out of date, and you need to contact the buyer, the seller. Oh, but can't you help me? I'm sorry, I can't help you. We only are able to help with those products bought through official channels, and we provide all the support to you, refunds, anything you need when you buy it through our stockists. Good luck.
Yep.
Really polite, but I did back it up. You buy it through us, you get all the support. Your salon, changes of mind, anything. But we do not help with that situation. And all those products, so many of those products they send, I see them all the time. They're old packaging, they're old products. You know, companies are trying to offload all this product that they can't sell anymore. And if they're going to go and buy that, then that's up to them, but they get no support.
We've even had people buy stuff on Amazon with sizes that the company doesn't make.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
It was a
So,
replica.
and
companies do that.
unfortunately, every single skincare line are going to have some products on Amazon. I mean, you just can't get away from it. The biggest thing is getting the loyalty. And I love what Will said, because we hadn't even thought about that. We give you guys loyalty points, but I hadn't thought about passing that down to our estheticians. But that's a great idea.
Any salon who does not have a rewards program is not making the most of their services or their loyalty of their customers. And I'm sorry, I fly Qantas. I'll tell you now, I fly Qantas because they're their rewards program. I do.
Yeah.
And I might pay $300 more because I know that I can go to the Qantas Club when I'm traveling. I know that when I have a problem with my flight, I can call Qantas direct and not have to go through Webjet, which you don't get to speak to anyone. So within this club, you're offering all of these fantastic extra things they're going to get when they come into this rewards program. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is when, you know, you can speak with your with your distributors about how they can also help you and work with you, because that's what we're here for. I love when salons come to me and say, can you help me create this? And I'm like, absolutely. I've got lots of ideas for you.
Okay, sorry.
So we have about
Hi.
3 minutes left, and I see one other question. Jocelyn, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say something. We do offer quite a few sales across the year. And I think we have a rewards program on our, if you order online. Karen, am I right about
We do.
that?
Yes, we
Right.
do.
Pass some of these savings on to your customers. You know, if we give a 20%, give them 10%. We do try and do that for you guys. And any other suggestions? I can't put everything on sale because, you know, it's impossible, but we really do try. So if we do a Mother's Day special, or we do a July the 4th special, or a Christmas special, pass it on, you know, make a big event in your spas and pass that on. I think that will also help.
It helps. These
Yeah,
promotions,
absolutely.
passing, and we do it with Germany. Germany might offer 20% on serums, and I'll always grab that.
Oh, yeah, we buy it.
And then I can pass 10% because I want to actually, you know, make something out of it as well. And then I'll pass 10% onto the salon.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
this is a fantastic way to.
And maybe they'll buy more than one product because it's on sale for 10% this week, and let them stock up, you know, 3-4 products, and then everybody wins.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're here for. Like I'm sure Edith, myself, Will, because it's like 4 a.m. If that doesn't prove, we love to talk. We love to help you. We love to answer questions. That's what the trainers do. So please ask us. We deal with many spas. We have the ideas and we can help you.
Well, thank you so much for today. I really wanted to make it as simple as possible, and I really think this is a simple approach. And using the cheat sheet that we'll get out to you, I think keep parts of it laminated in your salon, print it off, laminate it, put it on a ring. You know, a lot of my salons do that. They put it on a ring and they keep it, a few of them throughout the salon, while the client's getting ready, while the client's getting unchanged or changed, use it as a refresher. I don't, you know, I'm one of those people that you don't need to know all the information, you need to know how to find it. That is really important.
Absolutely perfect. I think yeah, I think it's about to end, but that's exactly right. We will give you the tools and you just find it. I mean, you'll use those tools, should help. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you.